Hey, Mike, great to see you again.
Good to see you, Mark. Pleasure.
Can you introduce yourself and give us a little bit of your background?
Sure. Name is Mike DiGregorio, for those I haven't met, and had a long history of executive responsibilities with public and private companies, background as a CPA and in finance, also in general management. Worked with a variety of multinational businesses, spent 10 years overseas, Mexico, Spain, England, and been CFO of public and private businesses for most of the last 25 years, including several years in general management in direct selling, consumer products, and the like.
Well, I've been fortunate, and I mean this with all sincerity, to have you as a friend for over 2 decades, I guess it is now, dating back to Miami. And I'm excited about our board advisory practice. As a leader in this board advisory practice, can you tell everyone in our business audience how you apply your expertise to your clients who are both executives as individuals and on boards?
Sure. I mean, the reality is it happens in diverse ways because I think, as you know, I sit on 5 boards. There are 3 public companies, 2 private equity-backed direct selling. So application of background expertise is varied. For example, the 2 direct selling businesses, I spent 11 years directly in direct sales, most in financial management, also in general management of a direct selling business in Mexico and the U.S. And so a lot of expertise on those boards relates to even sales and marketing management and how to go to market in a direct selling business, which is exciting. Obviously, I have a long history of background in finance, so I actually participate in 5 different audit committees. I'm the audit chair in a couple committees and participate in others, and obviously using years of financial expertise there. And then very importantly, I think just general business strategy, having worked in strategic planning for years in corporations, getting companies to really think more strategically and longer term in the focus. What I found very interesting is there's a lot of criticism at times that for boards that being very short-term oriented in nature. What I found is a lot of management teams actually are, and I find as a board member, us pushing them to think more longer term and more strategically. But it's been an interesting
Well,
experience.
what I found fantastic is, and learning from you as well, is my background being search, is how you're able to really differentiate executives who have not really understood the process and how to present themselves to get on a board.
Right. I mean, it is very interesting. Obviously, I was very fortunate having spent 25 years as a senior officer, mostly CFO of public-private businesses. So I think I probably ended up presenting to, I'd say, about 100 different board meetings over 25 years and clearly to a lot of audit committees. So I had a lot of firsthand experience, but it's interesting. We've met some amazingly talented people, but they really haven't had a lot of involvement with boards, and it's a strange experience with them, and they really don't know how to go about it and feel very uncomfortable with it. So it's been a pleasure to help people.
And from the
with
other
that.
side, we've done board searches, but your expertise in presenting to boards and being on boards certainly has helped us in identifying and putting the right fit together for the board. And those are diversifying tremendously these days too, right?
Well, I mean, it of course is absolutely the whole concept of trying to get a fit for a board is critical, obviously. But the amazing things I think I find as even boards that I've been involved with as they go about the process of talking about a new board member, sometimes they get very focused, let's say, on 1 or 2 things, but they don't seem to look at the current mix of the board and the talent that's currently on the board and think about it, let's say, in terms of chess pieces and what's really missing. Sometimes they get too focused on one area of expertise, and I think very critically for boards to have a good diversification of talent and think about all the different elements you need to bring in the board and think about who you're looking for. So it's been an interesting process.
Any quick little funny story you can tell us?
I probably have a lot of different stories, but I think most interesting is every board is different. One of the interesting experiences I've had in the last couple of years was joining a public company, call it a small to medium-sized public company. And when I joined the board, call it about a year ago, I was actually the ninth board member joining the board, and within several months found that we were downsizing to a total of 5 board members, and having 6 of the older board members leave the board and transitioning, which I think has actually been, it was kind of a strange process, but it's been very refreshing for this company, probably more appropriate, a much smaller board. And the reality is I still find some boards are way too big. I'm on the board of a, call it a medium-sized public company, the 13 board members, and the reality is it's way too many board members in my
Great
opinion.
stuff. Hey, thanks a lot, Mike.